Hello students, my name is Sankesh Shah and today my topic is OOPS concept in C++. Before I am explaining four pillars of OOPS, let's start with some basic concept like an object and class. What is the meaning of object? Object is a real world entity. It is also known as an instance of class. Each object is its own identity. Let's take one example so you are more clear about an object. Student, see the figure and find out some example of an object like a tablet, notebook, sketch pen, purse, and person. Let's take one more interesting example. Consider two girls, their first, middle, and last name are same, like a Joseph, like a Maria, Joseph, Christians. Okay. These two girls' first name, middle name, and last name are same, like a Maria, Joseph, Christians. How can I differentiate both of them? Guess what? The answer is based on the roll number or enrollment number. Same logic applying here. One object can be differentiated by another object based on their characteristic or functionality. Same thing I have written here. One object can be differentiated by another object based on their characteristic or functionality. Lots of example of an object in real world like a person. Person can be differentiated by another person based on their gender, their height and weight. Duster, pen, blackboard, even my mobile phone. One mobile phone can be differentiated by another mobile phone based on their brand name, based on their features, based on their colors, and so on. So this is all about an object. Next one is the class. Class is a template that contains two things, data member and member functions. Here I am taken one graphical example of the class. The class name is student, upper compartment that contain data member and lower compartment that contain a member functions. In this upper compartment, two data member are there, student ID that contain integer variable, student name that contain a string data type. Okay, and the lower compartment that contain one function, the name of the function is display. Class is also called as a collection of objects because a lot of objects reside in the class. Okay, so let's implement one demo program of C++. Here I am implement a C++ program in CodeBlock IDE. If you are using a Sublime or if you are using a Turbo C. So in Sublime, same syntax written, but if you are using a Turbo C, so you must write two header file has include iostream.h and second one is has include conio.h. Okay, first of all, what is the meaning of has include iostream? iostream header file is mainly used for input output. Cout and cin functions are available in the iostream.h header file. What is the meaning of conio.h? It means console input output header file. It's related like a clear screen and get ch function. Okay, so let's start with the program. First, I am written has include iostream header file, then using namespace std. Students, if you are not write this statement using namespace std, if so, whenever you compile your program or run your program, so in output window show an error. Without using namespace std, your program will not execute. Okay, so this thing keep it in your mind. Okay, first we define the class. How to define the class? Class keyword, then class name. Class name, what is the class name? Class name is the student. Okay. Next one that contain a two data member, student ID and student name. Okay. So in this student class, Class contain, as I told earlier, class contain two things, data member and member functions. So here two data member are there, student ID that contain integer data type and student name that contain the string data type. But in C++, not support a string data type. Okay, so I'm tried as a character array. So character array I am here taken character student name and that contain a 20 number of characters, means 0 to 19 character user enter. Public colon. What is the meaning of the public colon? In C++, there is the three access specifier are there. Public, private and protected. If you are write a data member as a public, so you can use your data member anywhere in your program. If you are write a private as a data member or member functions, so you can use your data member and member function only inside the class only. Okay. If you are write your data member and member function as a protected, so you can use your data member and member function that class and then derived class. Okay, so this is a three access specifier or access modifier are there. So here I am using a public access specifier, and in this program two functions are there, getInfo and disinfo. What is that? What is the meaning of the functions? In getInfo functions, I'm just print just one statement and get the input from the user. Cout function is mainly used to print the statement. Okay, so cout function is mainly used to print any statement. And what is the symbol? This symbol is called as an extraction symbol. This symbol is called as an extraction symbol. In this double quote, you can write anything you want to print on the command line. Okay, so I'm just print the message, enter the student ID. And to get the input from the user, you use cin, and this symbol is called as an insertion symbol. Okay, so user enter one integer variable, means integer number. User enter one number and store as a student ID. Same thing, I'm just print a student name and user enter some name and store as a student name variable. What is the use of the disinfo function? I'm just here, whatever the thing is getting from the user, I'm just printing. So in the disinfo function, I'm just print the student ID and student name. Okay, so this is all about the student class. There is two data member are there, student ID and student name, and two member functions are there, getInfo and disinfo. Okay, you must know the one thing, without main method, your program will not execute. Without main method, your program will not execute. Okay, so here in main method, first define the student class and define that object as well. Okay, so student and object as well. With the use of object as well, you can access the data member and member function. So in this program, I am just access only the member functions like a getInfo and disinfo. Okay, so with the use of S1 object, I am just access the getInfo functions. Whenever the getInfo function is called, okay, so user enter the student ID and student name, and whenever the disinfo function is called, the thing is just printed whatever I am just getting from the users. Okay, so here show the output, the enter the student ID. Okay, whenever the getInfo function is called, the thing is printing like enter the student ID. So I am entering a number 1 and enter the student name. I am entering the Sanket. So same thing is printing when I am calling the disinfo. Okay, and this endl means a new line. So your cursor is moved to the next line. Okay, so this is all about the some demo program. Okay, this is the simple graphical representation of student class. Here I am using the display functions, but in this program I am using two main functions, getInfo and disinfo. Okay, so you are more clear about what is the cin cout functions. Okay. Most important concept, four pillars of OOPS. Main four important concepts in C++: data abstraction, data encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. First one, data abstraction. What is the meaning of data abstraction? Data abstraction means show the important details to the user and hide all the remaining details. Okay, show the only important detail and ignore all the remaining details. Just take one example: university result. In university result, only show the grade history of the students. Not like that, student click the grade history and all answers it is open. Not like that. Okay, only the important part is showing to the user. So guess what? What is the use of the data abstraction? The main use of the data abstraction is the data hiding and data security purpose. Okay. Next one is the data encapsulations. Data encapsulations means a wrapping of data member and member function in a single unit is called as a data encapsulation. Again, I am repeating, a wrapping of data member and member functions in a single unit is called as a data encapsulation. The best example of the data encapsulation is class, because the class contains two things: data member and member function. We can call it as a class wrap the two things: data member and member functions. Okay, and combine in a single unit. Okay, and make one class. So it is the best example of the data encapsulation. The main use of the data encapsulations is the security purpose and data hiding. Next one is the inheritance. What is the use of the inheritance? Inheritance is the process of deriving a new class from old class. Inheritance is the process deriving a new class from old class is known as an inheritance. Same thing I am just written here. Inheritance is the process by which class can acquire the properties and method of another class. Property is nothing like a data member and method is nothing like a member functions. So here a child class can access all the data member and member function of base class. Same thing I have written here. The mechanism of deriving a new class from old class is known as an inheritance. The base class is also called as a parent class, superclass, and old class. The new class is also called as a derived class, child class, and subclass. One thing you must remember: derived class access all the functionality of base class, not base class access all the functionality of the derived class. Child access all the functionality of parents, okay, and also child can create their own features, okay. So we can say that derived class may acquire all the features of the base class, and programmer can add a new features to the derived class at the time of the implementations, okay. So guess what? What is the use of the inheritance? The main use of the inheritance is used for the code redundancy. Okay, whatever functions written in a base class, same thing you can use in a derived class. Okay, so number of line of the code is reduced and performance of the program is increased. Okay, the type of inheritance. 5 type of inheritance is available in C++. First one is the single inheritance. In the single inheritance, only two classes are there. B class is derived from the A class. So it's called as a single inheritance. Means B class accesses all the functionality of A class. Next one is the multi-level inheritance. In multi-level inheritance, B class is derived from the E class and C class is derived from the B class. Okay. So B class can access all the functionality of A class, and C class can access all functionality of B as well as A class. It's called as a multi-level inheritance. Next one is the multiple inheritance. In multiple inheritance, single child class and more than one parent class. Okay, so child class can access all the functionality of child class. C access all the functionality of A and B class. Next one is the hierarchical inheritance. In the hierarchical inheritance, single parent class and more than one child class. So B, C, and D child class access all the functionality of A class. And last one, hybrid inheritance. A combination of any two inheritance is called as a hybrid inheritance. Okay, a combination of any two inheritance is called as a hybrid inheritance. In this figure, there is the combination of the hierarchical and multiple inheritance is called as a hybrid inheritance. Okay. What is the meaning of the polymorphism? The last concept of the polymorphism. Polymorphism is the Greek word, poly plus morphism. It means ability to take a more than one forms. It's like a me or any person. If I'm talking about me, I act as a faculty when I'm going to school. I act as a child when I'm returning my home. I act as a brothers when I'm going to my sister's home. Okay, so I act differently. I act different based on the situations. Same thing applying here. A polymorphism allows a single name to be used for more than one related purpose. The advantage of polymorphism is reduce the complexity. It means the ability of operators and functions act differently in a different situations. Here I am taking a two example. If I want to use a two integer number, okay, in at the time of the calculations, so I am called a first function int total. If I am use a two integer and one float function, so I am called second one functions. Okay, so this is the use of the polymorphism. There is the two type of the polymorphisms are there in C++. First one is the compile time polymorphism and second one is the runtime polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism means what? A variable defined at the compile time. In runtime polymorphism, variable defined at the runtime. Compile time polymorphism is also called as a static binding or early binding. Okay, because the properties of variable that is defined at the compile time. Runtime polymorphism is also called as a late binding or dynamic binding because the variables defined at the runtime. So this is the all concept of the polymorphism. So in four pillars of OOPS, there are four most important concepts: data abstractions, data encapsulations, inheritance, and polymorphism. So what is the called as a data abstraction? Data abstractions means show the important details to the user and hide all the remaining details. Next one is the encapsulations. Encapsulations means what? A wrapping of data member and member function in a single unit is called as a data encapsulations. What is the meaning of the inheritance? Inheritance is the process of deriving a new class from old class is known as inheritance. And polymorphism. Polymorphism means ability to take a single function can be used for more than one purpose. Okay, so this is all concept of the polymorphism. Thank you so much. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.